In this video, we are going to talk about Tippycast, which is a framework for analyzing poetry. Poetry is a different beast than prose because of its size. Poetry minimizes the number of words, but maximizes the impact that each word has on the meaning and effect of the poem. Because of that, we must read poetry more times and in more depth than we normally read prose. It's not necessarily harder, it's just we have to go for slower and we have to make mental pictures for ourselves of what the poet is trying to do. Tippycast stands for title, paraphrase, connotation, attitude and tone, shift, title again, and theme. Before we start to read the poem, we want to look at the title. We want to make predictions, and we want to reflect again on the title after we have read the poem to ensure that we haven't missed anything or that we need to maybe revisit our first analysis of the title. Sometimes the title will give you the image that the poem is describing, and the name of that image is not given anywhere else in the body of the poem itself. P is for paraphrase, which means to put something into your own words. If we're dealing with a short poem, it's really easy to rewrite the paraphrase in our own words. If the poem is longer, we may want to paraphrase each stanza, or if it's multi-pages, we may want to paraphrase each page with a almost more of a summary than necessarily a paraphrase. It kind of depends on the question that you're being asked about the poem and whether or not you, quote, got it or not after your first read. If you have to write an essay on the poem, as you will in especially AP Lit, you will probably need to read the poem multiple times and go really in depth with your paraphrase before you start really moving into the analysis part. C is for connotation, which really stands for all of the literary terms you can get. It's not just connotation. If you look at the list on the left, we have apostrophe, assonance, rhyme, alliteration, personification, onomatopoeia, diction, meter, simile, hyperbole, metaphor. You could also look at the rhyme scheme, and with meter, the very specific technical terms for that metric pattern. A is for attitude or tone. And we're not thinking here about our mood, but we're thinking about the speaker's attitude, so really focusing on tone. Remember, you have your list of tone, attitude, words. It's on the back of your literary terms pre-assessment. S is for shift. We're looking for changes. Sometimes they're changes in time, sometimes in speaker. Probably most often we look at for changes in tone. When we have shifts, it changes the meaning of the poem, and so that's why it's important to look for those. At this point, we're going to revisit the title. Were you right in your predictions? Or do you need to change your initial thoughts to match up with what you read in the poem? And finally, theme. Remember, with theme, we're looking for a subject and then the author's opinion of that subject made into a complete sentence. So again, subject, author's view, that would be an insight on life, and often themes can be debatable. People may not debate them, but they need to be written in a form that is arguable. So that's Tippycast. Title, paraphrase, connotation, attitude, shift, title, and theme.